YouTube, what's going on? It's a new week of Walking Dead material, Walking Dead events, Walking Dead everything. Let's cover it this week. I've had some questions on some of this stuff. There is definitely some new things, and it can be kind of important for you to know some of this info. So, as always, you could click on this Daryl Dixon little icon thing here. This will take you to pretty much everything Walking Dead. There are some things in the event center, like collect your gifts and some other Walking Dead stuff. But the Daryl Dixon place is generally the area that you want to go to. So first we have this narrow escape event here. There are basically 40 stages, going from 1 all the way up to 40. Depending on how high you get, you'll get different rewards. So at 40, you'll get all of this stuff here, whereas at 35, you'll get this stuff. There's basically 4 different types of units here, or of enemies. Here you can see the heroes led by the boss are pretty powerful. This basically just means use your best APC. This boss is more susceptible to shooters, this boss is more susceptible to vehicles, and this boss is more susceptible to fighters. So the recommendation for this is to basically just use your best APCs where you can. So in terms of vehicles, you can actually use Gloria. Gloria is a really good option. Mech Pilot being the Gloria option here, with Kung Fu as a support, and then any of the tanks, so Angel or Jackie, or even Tuner, can be used there for vehicles. For shooters, I found a pretty reliable shooters being Annie. If you don't have Annie, you can always just use Angel in pretty much all of these combinations. So Annie. And then I actually use Diver and Flash. The shooters one seem to be pretty easy if you have Flash. You can also use Annie Flash Robust, and it's gonna work totally fine. And then for fighters, basically just use this, or Beast instead of Hunk. And for the one that is susceptible, or the heroes, whatever it says, the boss is pretty powerful. I actually just use the fighter combo here, because Raven and Thunderbolt are so strong that it works totally fine. I would also recommend changing your mech based on what you're trying to do. So here I just have fighter weapons. Here I just have vehicle weapons. And then I did have just shooter weapons here as well. So you can play around with it, and it shouldn't be that difficult, depending on, I guess, your base strength. So that's the first thing, Narrow Escape. Also, when you complete Narrow Escape, you're going to get a bonus here for these coins. You basically just collect these exchange coins, which is very, very awesome. You basically just get free coins for this. I think once you get to a certain level, you get more, you get a bonus. Maybe it's just always, I don't really know. So anyway, we'll move on to the next event, which is Fear the Living. And this is the one that I think most people have questions on. So Fear the Living is this interface here. It's kind of confusing. Basically, there's this might bonus thing. This is totally fine. You can use, diamonds if you want. You'll get more might. I do probably recommend it if you were going to push for the higher ranking. But it doesn't really matter. Even if you're just 1,000 and above, you're going to get quite a lot of exchange coins. If you're 500 or above, which means, you don't even have to be a whale or anything like that, you'll get 20,000. But if you're pushing for top 15 rewards for whatever reason, or top 10 or something like that, you're definitely going to want to use this might bonus. Now, it's currently, there's currently one actually going on right now, so we can kind of see it. Yeah, here it is. So this is the advanced giant deer boss thing here. Basically, you can just attack this. It's going to take more damage from vehicles. You have 15 tries to kill the deer, or 15 attacks. If you are a very strong player, a whale, I do recommend do not attack. There's going to be giant deer basic. There's going to be 3 of them. They spawn. Once they are killed, then the advanced version spawns. If you're a whale, only attack the advanced version. I did not do that. I was attacking the basics. The basics only have 5 HP basically, or 5 rows of HP. And so you can't over damage the basic. Whereas the advanced has 15, I believe. So you can actually do 15 rows in one hit instead of 5. So that's just a very, very helpful tip, and that's how you're going to get really, really high up on the rankings. You can see here, I have 200 million damage. I was not attacking the advanced, so I would attack like the basics and the advanced. If you're just attacking advanced, like I would one-shot the basics, right? If you're just attacking the advanced, you can get way, way, way higher. But for the most part, this ranking is just going to be like your whale ranking. Now, in terms of what APC is good for this stuff, honestly, this APC works really well here. You can use Jackie Cyclone Nightingale. That's probably going to do the most damage. You basically just want to deal as much damage as possible. It doesn't really kill your troops at all. Again, you can use like Gloria and any other high damage vehicle APC. And then again, I do very strongly recommend using, your best mech, so your highest level mech. It doesn't really matter which one it is. Like, let's say your highest level mech you normally use for fighters. It doesn't really matter. Just replace it with all of your vehicle weapons if you have vehicle weapons. It'll just give you better stats. So that's it for Fear the Living. It's not that confusing. Again, most of the question is about the APC. The Nightingale APC works really, really well. You can use that, or the Gloria APC that I mentioned before for the Escape the Narrow or whatever, Narrow Escape. After that, we still have this memory puzzle thing. This memory puzzle is, pretty simple. Basically, there are just daily quests, more or less. Just do all these quests. You'll get puzzle pieces, and then it'll unlock different varieties of it. So, like, if I get 13 more puzzle pieces, I can do this event here. This event will give, this stuff depending on how much time it's taking. This one gives these things depending on how much time you do it in. If you do it within a minute, you get everything, or under a minute rather. You get 20 chances, so it's fairly simple. I do recommend using this I button here. It'll actually kind of show you, I guess I'll just show. This is not going to be run right. It shows you basically where you have to put the piece. So you can see here that the piece is just going to line up basically right here. And then you can just put it, and it's much simpler than like doing it blind. So if some people are having a problem with it, just use this eyeball thing, and it's really quite easy. You can also, like, some people are actually memorizing this puzzle and being like, oh, okay, where does this piece go? That's fine. If it works, it works. But I just use this eyeball thing, and it's quite simple. So that's it for the memory puzzle. The other stuff that's out basically because it's a new week is you have so many of these exchange coins. People are now wondering, what do I buy with these exchange coins? So let's cover that. There are 3 copies of Maggie Green. If you're not interested at all in getting Maggie Green, don't bother. However, if you're going to get Maggie Green, this is basically a free way of getting 3 copies. I think you need 19 gold copies. I don't remember. But having 3 free, literally free, free-to-players can get this. Having 3 of them is pretty good. It means it's 16 copies, and if it's like all the other SP heroes, 16 copies is going to cost you maybe like, I don't know, $400 or something like that. So you're saving quite a bit. You're saving like maybe $50 or something by doing this, but that's only if you were going for Maggie Green. If you're not, then there are much, much, much better options. Here you have 1,000 war badges for 1,000 exchange coins, 100 USB for 1,200 exchange coins, 1,500 mech battle data for 1,200. Basically, and then super tickets. I wouldn't really buy any of this other stuff unless you're interested in some of these statues here, and then you can go ahead and buy these statues. That's up to you. For the most part, it's going to be like these 3 things, honestly, are the most important. Iron plates are all right as well, but generally you can be getting these, and these are quite expensive. So the way that you can tell what's the best thing to purchase is based on cost, generally speaking. So we can go to the packages here. You can see that 1,800 is $20. So you can basically assume 1,000 USB is $10. You get 16,000 war badges for $20. So let's just say 8,000, or I think it's like, 7,500 or whatever for $10. And then 20,000 mech battle data for $10. So let's keep that in mind, right? 1,000 USB for $10. 20,000 mech battle data for $10 and 7,500, right? So if we go in here to the exchange shop, you'll notice basically you're getting 100. So this is going to be $1, right? The war badges, I think, was 7,500, which means 1,000 is better. You get more for your you get more for the amount of exchange coins, basically, than you would for USB. And then mech battle data being a little bit worse. So basically, the war badges is the most efficient thing you can be buying with the exchange coins. You will get tons of these, so it doesn't really matter that much, in my opinion. If you're doing like everything, with that cumulative claim stuff, you'll be getting a lot of these. As you can see here, I've used like 100. I've had like 112,000 exchange coins, so it's not super important, but just something to keep in mind. I would basically go war badges, USB, mech battle data. That's like the most value. However, USB you can't really get unless you're buying. So if you're free to play, you can just get USB, and then the war badges will come much later. However you want to do it, you can totally do it. It's totally fine. But that's just my recommendation for you guys. So that's going to do it with the exchange shop. There's really nothing else. There's still some good packages with double diamonds. There's still the cumulative 4 million purchase event. There's this dungeon adventure, which is huge. I should mention here the formation thing to get more coins. If you have one copy of Maggie and one copy of Daryl Dixon, you'll get plus 50% on the like accumulation. Otherwise, all of your heroes are basically going to be plus 20%. So you can actually get twice as many coins here just by having one copy of both of those heroes. It's not really that important, but it is pretty nice. I will end up basically being able, because I have one copy of both of these two heroes, I will basically be able to buy out like the entire exchange shop by the end of it, more or less, just from having those heroes. So just something to consider. But that's pretty much it for this week's Walking Dead activities. We'll see in like 5 days. We'll have some more stuff. But honestly, pretty good event. People were a little bit disappointed at first, for sure. And, with reason. But I think everyone's kind of starting to realize there's a lot of free-to-play stuff in this. Just a lot of free-to-play stuff. The Narrow Escape, like I said, if you can get up to the top ranks, which is pretty difficult, but you can rally. So, if you're a little bit weaker, you can rally with your alliance for like these big ones, right? So I would save the rallies for like 35, 40, 30, whatever. I wouldn't use it on like 31, etc. Also, forgot to mention, there is this alliance version of this. This is basically just like once your alliance has 15 people who have reached stage 10, or who have beaten stage 10 rather, the alliance can then challenge this jester guy here, and then you have a chance of getting some rewards. It doesn't really matter that much, to be honest. This is kind of like Zombie Siege, sort of. So that's basically just like an incentive for you to push up to level 40 so that your alliance, can get some better rewards. Everybody in the alliance, essentially. So again, guys, that's going to do it. There's lots of cool stuff, lots of free stuff. Let me know if you have some really good combos for the deer, or you're confused about what combos you want to use for the deer. You don't have maybe, Gloria, or, you don't have Flash or something like that for Narrow Escape. Let me know in the comments, and I'll try to help you out based on what you have, and kind of give you the best, the best options for you. So that's going to be it for this week's Walking Dead activities. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Hopefully you get the free rewards. I would definitely log in every day. There are challenges every day with like the memory puzzle and things like that. So just try to at least log in and do the Walking Dead stuff. You get a lot of free stuff. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.